Welcome, I'm Sarah from Project Zero Studios, back here with another AU Redesign Challenge. The show where my patrons pick a pop culture character and I redesign them into an alternate universe version of themselves. I have an extra special guest for you today. It's Mario, the Artisan Rogue himself. Hey, Mario.
How's it going? So nice to be here. So nice to be here.
Great.
Thanks for inviting me in.
Of course. I've been wanting to do something with you for a long time, so
same.
It's a great opportunity.
Yeah. Very cool opportunity. This definitely pushed me in a different direction.
Good. That's kind of half of what this project is all about.
Yes.
So I can't wait to see what you did.
I know. I know you sent me a little preview thing, and I'm like, where's this going? I want to see this. So.
Same. I'm living all your colors and stuff. So first, I got to ask though, what did you think of the subject matter?
It was definitely outside of my wheelhouse. I love the show, you know, the bits of it, and I went back and actually rewatched it while I was working on this. It was overall a great and really fun thing. It was, and again, since it was outside of my wheelhouse, I didn't know where it was going to end up, but I was happy at the end of it. I was like, oh man, this really pushed me in different ways I didn't think about. So
yeah, and the genre you rolled really played into your strengths as well.
Editing Sarah here. Let's take a step back and see what we've got going on this time. The poll was definitely tied again, so I left it up to Mario, and he chose Princess Celestia from My Little Pony. Let's see the rolls. So I promised myself I wouldn't pick the sparkly dice again. But I still needed something that evoked the sunrise. So here we go. What is it? Ooh, 0-1. Okay. What does that mean? Computer? Oh no, it took so long. It fell asleep. Wake up. 1 is Anthro. Okay. And now for Mario. Oh, look at all these cool dice. I need to make a set. Okay, we got a rope and some kind of bag. Right, rope is a 2. Rope is a 2. Bag is a 8. 28. So, what does 28 mean on our list? Robot. Sweet. Now back to the show.
So I had to get a bunch of reference. Fun fact, horses was one of the first things I learned how to draw.
No
when
kidding.
I was a little kid, yeah. I think my aunt was a horse girl and imparted on me the wisdom, and then I figured out I could draw horses, and that's just all I wanted to draw for like a couple of years.
Oh, that's wild.
But it's kind of left to me now.
I love the substructure stuff you're using. That's really good.
Thanks. Yeah, I like drawing on layer masks on solid color layers because it makes it really easy to tell if you're coloring on the wrong layer.
Oh my god, that is brilliant.
Great for
I've
inks,
already learned
too.
something. That's not, see, and that's I know that there's more capacity to these programs, and I'm so old school in certain ways that I do it. I don't know which version. So this is Photoshop you're working in, right?
No, it's Clip Studio Paint.
Oh, Clip Studio. Jesus. Okay. Wow. I gotta look into that.
Looked like a dude. I had to do this like 5 times. Oh, I could never get the really long faces to look right to me.
Yeah. Okay, so when you're doing this, like, this isn't, did you thumbnail ahead of time, or was this something where you're like, I'm just going to jump into this and just kind of let it run?
I basically just jumped into this and just like did a bajillion sketches. You can kind of see on the right hand side of the screen I've been adding more layers as I go, and I think now I'm going for like a Grecian kind of look.
Oh yeah.
And I was gonna draw her holding a toga, but I think I ended up changing it by the end. And I finally did that sketch on the right because I wasn't happy with the faces, and I told myself, okay, just simplify it. Just make it more cartoony. You're good at that. And then it finally clicked. And I know there's already like a human version of all the pony characters.
Yeah, right?
So I wanted to make her distinct from that version.
That's brilliant.
Trying to incorporate as many of the pony accessories as I can.
That is looking really good.
Yeah, I think now is when it starts to all come together. Oh, I think I did one more outfit sketch just to test some things.
So do you find yourself using variant brush sizes when you're sketching like this, or do you stick with one?
I usually stick with one. When I ink, I change the brush size up.
Sure.
I'm also really impatient, so I want to like do all the lines at the same time. But sometimes that makes the line quality not as great.
Yeah, I know that struggle. Yeah.
So pressure sensitive brushes really help.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I realized I hadn't incorporated her cutie mark anywhere, so I'm like, oh no. Quick, draw something with her cutie mark on it. Adding some extra content here because I do these as like wallpaper sized things.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing.
I'm thinking, what brush am I using? The KK brush. KK pen? I'm sure if anyone has Clip Studio Paint, you just go into the asset store and find the KK pen. It's in there. I probably found it from Drawfee, like all of my brushes.
But it's some really great inking you're doing there. That's really, really phenomenally done.
Thank you. That's one of my best qualities is that I have really clean inks.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can remind myself not to be super precious about it, it goes really fast.
You know, isn't that the truth? Like, I mean, I remember I had a teacher that was like, you know, because when I first started drawing, you grab like the tip of the pencil and you're like all close. You know, it looks like you're excavating like a miniature dinosaur.
Yeah.
And he was like, just let it go, you know. And I love that. And you know, and we need to remember too, like I this is something I have to remember all the time. When we're doing digital, you can always undo.
Yes.
You know?
Isn't that true? I don't think I could live without the undo button now.
Oh God, no. I've worn the Z off of my board.
Oh no.
From all the undos, like don't like that.
So here I'm just picking flats from her official art. Figure I can tweak them later. Gradients are fun. I should have added more sparkles, dang it. Oh yeah, so so that was like 5 o'clock at night and I realized I hadn't drawn her wings yet and I was not emotionally prepared to draw wings, so I left it for the day. I came back the next day.
You know, I first of all, I love what you did here with the wing because they're just stylized enough, but they look great. That's phenomenal. I am all over the place with something like that. So,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, usually I am too. I think it helped that I had a character in my last webcomic that had wings, so I kind of had to figure out a way to do it over and over again.
Yeah.
In a style that I was happy with.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. There was a lady I met, C2E2. She had a book where it was all fantasy, but it was all birds.
Oh.
And I remember thinking to myself, I never did pick up her book, but I was like, oh my God, why? It just,
Oh, feathers. Oh.
yeah. Well, and all the exposition, the hands are doing this and all these other things. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, yeah. So how do you go about picking the light sourcing then? Do you make that decision up ahead of time as part of your layout and composition, or is that also on the fly?
Light sources usually on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
I try to keep it simple. I could probably go more detailed, but yeah, I don't know. That's just part of my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I use linear burn layers now,
Oh yeah.
and just grab one color, and that's how I get everything to look words put together. All in one place. Just use one color for the shading. It's fine. Unless I'm doing a thing with multiple light sources.
Yeah.
No. Oh, I think we're just about done here. Picking fonts, of course.
That is really damn good.
Oh, that's right. I decided to do the line art like they do in the show.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. See, and that was something I even picked up kind of late on. I'm like, oh wait, it's not all a solid.
Mm-hmm.
Like the line definitely complements the base color.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's that like Disney cartoony-esque quality.
Yeah.
Softens it up just enough.
Yep. Yeah. That was also something new I hadn't ever tried before. So, the struggle.
Interesting to see how you did
it. It'll be something, that's for sure. Because it was a very late. Because and I just even the way this is going, you did such a good job with the line width and everything like that on there. That's something I've really grown to appreciate about your work, especially over the last couple of years, is just how much more it's moving into animation character design level stuff. You're really killing it. It's really good.
Thank you. Oh, stop, Mario. People are going to think I invited you on here just to compliment me.
Don't worry, the Venmo came through.
I do think this technique probably works better on thicker line arts. I'm not sure I like how it turned out for mine.
Oh, I see. Okay. There's a whole theory too that I've seen. Somebody explained it one time, like what size line work you should be utilizing for the piece and everything else like that. So now that this is done, what did you think? When it was all finished and done, what was your take on it?
What did I think? Gosh, looking back on it now, I think I would darken up the line art a lot. It's kind of all blending in, but she does look very ethereal, which is very Princess Celestia. So
yeah. When she stands out, even from the background of the flag, it looks like an animated character over a pre-painted background.
Yeah.
Element. So yeah, I agree with. Yeah. It definitely brings. I almost expect her to move. So.
Nice.
Yeah, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, I really love the hair. I like getting to draw massive amounts of hair, even though it's completely ridiculous.
It is, but I think that's the beauty of that sort of thing too. So much of anime and stuff like that is absolutely in that realm, and I did love that. In watching the show, the design that this character especially, I'm like, how do you even walk?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gorgeous.
You're not tripping over your mane all the time. That must be part of her special powers or something.
It's gotta be.
Oh.
Infinite detangler, something. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it's a great job on that. That's freaking great.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to watch yours now.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, so you went and did a whole illustration.
Yeah. Yeah,
I've
I
seen
didn't
that
know. I didn't know
before.
what the assignment was. So, and this is just how I normally work. I'm like, I don't know where this is gonna go.
I could have been more clear about it, but
It's all good.
I mean, you do you, man. Oh yeah, so you got mecha,
Mm-hmm.
and you immediately start with like a crown kind of a thing. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I always tend to look at, like, if you look at the exaggeration of a lot of Gundam, a lot of super robots and stuff like that, it's always 2 to 3 times larger,
Mm.
oversimplified, blown out, whatever. And so I was like, I've got to go big on this. Like, everything has to be exaggerated to some degree, perspective,
Mhm.
sizing, fit, all of that.
Oh, that's great.
And I am very sketchy with my underdrawings, like crazy. I end up losing myself in them. And then I end up, and you'll notice here, there's going to be some revisions on the shoulder armor and the wings and stuff because they started out very anemic for me. I'm like, nope, no, this isn't. And it's too easy. I can get caught in my own designs and lose where I'm going with it really quick.
Mm. Got a nice understructure here, though.
Thank you.
Really easy to just slap stuff on top of it.
Thank you. Yeah. Under drawings are everything. I mean, I think you know that too. Like, it's just,
Yeah, I usually do 2 or 3 different revisions myself before I move on to inks.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
So you were saying, talking about pencil width earlier. Do you use different pencils when you draw?
Yep. Actually, well, I will vary all the time. I have this tool called a Toolbox, and it's a tertiary keyboard section over here, and it's got buttons and dials and stuff on it.
Mhm.
I can send you a picture of it.
Yeah.
But it's got a dial that on the fly I can increase as I'm going along exactly to where I want it to, and all that other stuff.
Neat.
So everything in here is one brush, and I'm just increasing and going along as I can.
So what's your oh, great. I need to take for that. Brain.
I know.
How do you
I know.
decide what width of brush to use?
Okay, say that again.
How do you decide what width of brush to use? You have like a
I
system or just wing
No, it is because I drew for so many years traditionally before I jumped into digital.
it? Mhm.
Kind of go with what I grab, what I feel in that moment, you know.
Mhm.
But also, like, when I mainly did traditional, I would always go back and re-outline everything with a heavier brush or a thicker pen, to get that outline look that I really wanted. And I've kept some of my earlier art style in this, but a lot of this is just, what do I feel? And that's why I'm constantly turning off the sketch to look at the line work.
Mhm.
Like, is there enough presence of weight? Does it make sense? Does it read without this foundational drawing underneath it?
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't, then I've got some more work to do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always a very fine balance of not being too busy, but making sure there's
Right.
enough detail.
Yeah.
Oh
And
my
this was,
goodness.
yeah, this was one too. Like, this is, I love that stuff, like going nuts on mechanical paneling and everything else like that.
Oh, I wish. I was a Transformers fan for many, many years and
Oh, yeah.
could never do more than like the animated stuff because I'm really bad at machines.
Well, I think everyone gets their strengths, and we all have, things that we either grew up with or we knew, and like, but the beautiful thing about Transformers is that there are so many different, versions that exist, and some of those hyper animated versions are incredibly beautiful creations. So, I like going really nuts with robotic stuff, but it takes a lot of time, and it can become derivative really quickly.
Yeah.
So, the really great, robo designers and stuff like that, it's amazing. Like, a lot of it is just observing what's out there mechanically, like going around tractors and other things and pulling from that, aircraft and stuff. Yeah, see, and I'm constantly unsure. Like, I keep looking at it and redrawing sections, and based. After a while, you'll notice I start to completely ignore aspects of my underdrawing. I'm like, no, this just isn't working.
Well, I do have the experience to know when to do that too.
Yeah, I don't know if it's from, I don't know if it's experience or it was just happy accidents,
Mm.
you know. Because even this one, I was like, no, it doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. Okay, that's fine. And I think I shortened up the leg here too. Yeah.
Yeah, that does push the perspective way out. That's nice.
Yep. And even here, I was like, okay, it would have like from a physical standpoint, it would have a larger shoulder muscle. So much of Gundam design is based on what would be able to support that, what looks more blade-like, what, and then, you know, taking something like this, and this is one of the fastest ways that I work is, you know, copying and pasting components like this.
That's what's so great about drawing electronically as well. You got that capability.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Why work more than you have to?
Yeah. Yeah. Work smarter, you know. Totally. And I know that at some point here, I started going and you know, more and more into detail because I am not great with color. I have never. I always struggle. I'm like, no, I need to think about this. So here's where I switched over to a baseline color. I was like, okay, this is going to be the basis for everything that comes forward from there, and I need a color that she was going to pop out on.
Yep.
And so I'm just switching back and forth between the two versions to kind of see what I need to do.
Ooh, what is that brush?
That is a nice brush. It's from the Evident Concept library. I think the guy, so you'll notice that where those brushes are, that's a plugin called Brushbox that's available on Gumroad for Photoshop. And it organizes, and I can put colors on the different groupings and know exactly where my brushes are, the ones I buy, all that other stuff. I can organize it however I want.
Oh, I wish Lip Studio had that.
There may be a version. I think he was working on one for that. So
Okay.
I'll send a link to his store. I know he talked about it in a newsletter a while back. So this is my only issue sometimes is I'm so just OCD about this. You'll notice there's a small white outliner on some of the black. And I went back out and cleaned up that stuff.
Oh my gosh,
because
that would have annoyed me too.
well, the easiest way I found to do that was literally just to select the color and then pull it in, you know, regress it by 2 pixels and knock out that under one. And then you don't see it as bad. But I know I'm going to print this out, you know, and I'm like, no, I can't have that on there.
Yeah, and especially if you're doing the same white K printing.
Yeah.
If stuff gets misaligned, then it's going to look terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, you can change the liner to pink.
Yeah. Well, and I was trying, so it was something where, you know, the clouds are really white. Refractive aspects are anything that's put against a white background is going to have a slightly different intonation to it. So, and I also wanted to be able to put in some light white highlights on her and everything to show the metallic bit.
That's nice.
Thank you.
One thing Transformers did teach me was highlights.
Oh God. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I fell in love with Transformers all over again. Recently, I went to TF Expo here in Independence. They used to be in Wichita. I don't know if they're going to come back again, but it was a nice little show, and I bought way too many Transformers. if that is such a thing. So.
No, of course not. I've got a whole bookcase shelf dedicated to Transformers.
I actually... one of the guys that ran the show, they had a panel called Rarities, and oh my God, he had some rare things from Diaclone, right up my alley. But he got me back into collecting, but I only collect the jump starters. But there were so many variants and knockoffs and stuff. It's really funny. So yeah, and this was weird. I wanted that to be part of her hair, but I thought, no, it's gonna look really cool as an armored piece, like protecting the side of her head.
Yeah, and she does kind of have that curl there, so that's an interesting thing to turn it into. This is looking real good.
Thank you.
You say you're bad at color, but I mean, it doesn't take much.
I think a lot of it is, you know, it's that whole comparison thing. You know, I get on Instagram and I see somebody who's just like, you know, making museum masterpieces and digital work. I'm like, oh my God, how did you do that thing?
Yeah.
So.
And that's not what this is, and that's fine. Like,
Yeah, and the whole cell shading thing, I love. I love that so much.
It's deceptively simple. I think you can
Yeah,
do a lot with it.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, and Chloe. It's always fun.
Super glow. Here, I kept messing with that shadow for the life of me. I could not. I was like, no, no, that's too pink. No.
Mm.
And then I finally was like, no, I'm going to push it all the way to the back and leave the outline around it. The hair was a blast.
Yeah. I envy people who can draw with selections. Dang.
You know, I didn't even know that that was a difficult thing. I was like, I got to find something that'll work. And it just seemed to work out.
She's starting to look more Lisa Frank, and I'm here for it.
I love that. That's a compliment. Those designs are beautiful.
Oh my gosh, Trapper Keepers are coming back. I've seen them at the Walmart.
Oh Lord.
I would
Oh
love
my
this on a
God.
Trapper Keeper.
Oh my God, yeah, that would be rad. I only owned 2 Trapper Keepers in my life. One was for Smokey and the Bandit, and then later one for Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to that one.
I don't remember what mine were.
I think I really get into the cell shading because like when I was younger, I was like, straight, I'm gonna grow up and be an animator. I mean, that didn't happen, but this fulfills it for me.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So here I kind of went back and forth. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna phone it in.
Mm.
I'm gonna finish this. Because I almost shaded it in. I was like, no, that's not gonna look right. The light sourcing's not right.
Oh. I think it would have been fine.
I think so, but like I wanted there to be that real forced point of depth for it. So, but it you know, like every bit that I added, I was glad in the end. I'm like, no, this worked out better. This,
The little sparkle on her horn. That's so good.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
I
Yeah,
think I can hear the wings. Like, they're making that like brrr noise. All the plasma coming out of them.
yeah,
It's so neat.
Absolutely, yeah. This was a lot of fun. This is great. This is one I actually can't wait until the next show I do. I'm gonna print a few of these out. So
I'll buy one.
yeah. Now it and like I think the biggest thing that came out of this too was that it did help get me back out of my comfort zone again. I'm like, okay, I can color, I can do some things. So yeah. It's weird how for me insecurity will just rear its head at the weirdest times, man.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, like I like sitting on the toilet in the morning getting ready, like you're almost getting ready to get up and brush your teeth and take a shower, and that's when my brain is like, no. Go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we're fine
Yeah.
5 minutes ago.
Yeah. It's weird. I think that's one of the problems I have too, is like mornings for me can be kind of hell because there's a lot of different things I have to do. And then like toward the evening, I'll start getting really jazzed and pumped. And there's a Japanese term for this. I forget exactly what it is, but it's refusing to let go of the night.
Interesting.
And I'd never heard about it before. It was an account I follow on Twitter. And they were saying that it's something that a lot of young artists talk about in Japan. They didn't get enough done during the day, so they stay up later and later and later and later. And a lot of mangaka do that. I mean, those people are working 16, 18 hours a day. Like the dude that does One Piece. How?
I don't know.
So yeah, it's crazy.
There's my cat. Hello. You have to be on camera now. You've interrupted me. Ew.
Oh my God, look at that.
Hello. This is Wendy.
Oh, Wendy. That is gorgeous. And I never had an all black cat. I had a tuxedo cat for a while.
I grew up with a black cat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Aw. So this one came along. Was it a direct adoption or what? How did you get this cat? Just wondering.
We adopted it from Wayside Waifs.
Oh, okay, yeah. Nice. Nice. Luna was living out in a bush in front of my house.
Oh.
She was declawed already, but she's a little white fluffy thing, and I was like, "You are not a feral cat."
Yeah.
But she was so scared. She was just living in the bush, and she was so small.
Oh.
Every single cat I have ever had, with the exception of the first one, he was a barn cat, and he was like part Maine Coon or something. But everyone else has come from this street, and I'm just wandering around. I've fed him, and like, damn it, now I have another cat. So
That's crazy that there's so many in your area.
yeah. Thankfully, the neighbor that was responsible for a lot of that has moved on.
Good.
Right. I just, they don't need more cats. There's another one that lives outside I cannot bring in. He's wonderful, but thankfully the neighbor across the street has decided to take him in, so he survived the winter. He's a very healthy boy now. Yes. Happy ending on that. So, man. So yeah, this was a freaking blast. So, okay. So what do you think your big takeaway was after you got done with yours?
Oh my goodness. Big takeaway.
Yeah.
I'm always better at animals than I think I am.
Okay. Yeah.
I tell myself I'm so terrible, and then, I eventually figure it out. Like, yeah, I can do this.
Yeah.
What about
So
you?
oh man. It was definitely the whole thing. I was surprised that the color came out the way it did. I was happy for that. I was happy that the subject matter, I think I did justice to the subject matter. Because I was so weirded out by that, like, I know the fandom is, it's interesting to see different incarnations of it and stuff like that and how people are about it. And it's not like I was worried, like, somebody was, going to come up from the fandom and be like, I can't believe this desecration. But at the same time, I know, right?
It's a rabid fandom.
It truly is. Yeah, I remember meeting my very first brony in Wichita one time, and he was very intense, and I loved the passion he had for it. He wasn't rude, he wasn't anything. I learned more about My Little Pony in 30 minutes, man. It was like insane. I'm like, oh really? Oh wow, and
Yeah.
I think that though it was almost too much, because he kind of came off like one of those guys when you go to the gym, they're trying to give you everything. He's like, here's a free bag, and did you know that you can join? You came on a little strong,
Yeah.
You can stop.
I'm already into it. You can.
Oh
it's
God,
fine.
right? I just came here for the treadmill. That's really. No, but like otherwise, I think it was one of those things. I like, honest to God. I'm in the middle of one of my graphic novels, and like I'd held off for a few weeks. I just hadn't been drawing. This was a nice kickstart again. Like, hey, okay, I feel better.
Good.
So yeah. If it hadn't been for all the other crazy things in life, like me getting COVID, the sewer deciding to fail, things like that.
Yeah. And then I got sick, and then
Yeah.
had to go to the doctor twice.
I am so sorry. Good God.
Where should people find you, Mario?
You can go to www. I almost added an extra W on there. theartisanrogue.com, and you can read about those stories. You can see other stuff. You can see my artwork on there. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. That's my website. You can also find me on TikTok, which is also The Artisan Rogue.
And that's it for this episode, folks. Make sure to follow Mario on his various websites. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Maybe consider subscribing if you want to see the next one. Who should we have next? Oh my gosh, there's so many people I could call. If you want to be on here, let me know. Definitely. These videos are not possible without my wonderful patrons on Patreon, whose names are on screen right now. If you want a say in who gets drawn next, just pledge at any tier over at patreon.com/Project Studios. Thanks once again to Mario. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, great night, great whatever. See you next time.